I've seen too many sterilizers that look great on paper but fall apart when you actually try to use them in a real workspace. You know, the kind quiet on the listing, loud in your kitchen, or worse, failing to actually sterilize after you've waited 20 minutes. The CPAC RH Pro11 promises high capacity and fast cycles, but does it hold up when you're not just reading specs, you're trying to prep tools before your next client? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. This isn't one of those tiny tabletop units that barely fits a few files. The RH Pro11 is built for someone who's tired of cramming tools into a sterilizer that's more decoration than machine. If you run a nail salon, microblading studio, or even a small tattoo setup, capacity matters. You're not just sterilizing one set of tweezers, you're cycling through multiple tools between clients. The generous tabletop footprint gives you room for larger instruments without forcing you to stagger sterilization cycles. That alone cuts down on wait time, which is real money when your schedule is tight. Now, the headline feature is ultra-fast sterilization cycles, and it's not just marketing. Most dry heat sterilizers take 30 minutes or more to reach the required temperature and hold it long enough to actually kill pathogens. The RH Pro11 uses advanced HVHA technology to cut that time significantly. In practice, that means you can run a full load of metal tools, files, and brushes in under 20 minutes if you're using the preset cycle. That's a game changer when you're trying to turn over stations between appointments. You're not waiting around for a glorified oven to do its job, you're getting back to work. But here's the catch: dry heat sterilization isn't magic. It works best on metal tools that can tolerate high temperatures without warping or dulling. If you're sterilizing plastic items, silicone tips, or certain composite tools, this isn't the right fit. The chemical-free, waterless design is great for avoiding residue or corrosion, but it also means there's no steam or pressure to penetrate porous materials. So if your workflow includes a lot of non-metal tools, you'll need a backup method. The RH Pro11 excels in its lane, but it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Energy efficiency is another real-world win. Most sterilizers draw a lot of power to maintain heat, especially older models. The RH Pro11 is designed to cycle on and off intelligently, so it doesn't run continuously like a space heater. That's noticeable on your electric bill, especially if you're running multiple cycles a day. Over time, that efficiency adds up more, so if you're in a state with higher energy costs, it's not going to make you rich, but it's one less thing to stress about when you're balancing overhead. Now, let's talk about the trade-offs. Dry heat sterilizers can be noisy when the fan kicks in, especially during the initial heat-up phase. If your workspace is in a shared area or a small room, that hum might be noticeable. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to consider if you're sensitive to background noise. Also, while the capacity is generous for a tabletop unit, it's still limited compared to larger autoclaves. If you're running a high-volume studio with multiple operators, you might find yourself running back-to-back cycles during peak hours. It's not a flaw, it's just a practical limit to keep in mind. Who should buy this? If you're a solo practitioner or a small studio owner who needs a reliable, fast, and chemical-free way to sterilize metal tools, this is a solid choice. It's especially useful if you're tired of dealing with steam residue or the maintenance of traditional autoclaves. The RH Pro11 keeps things simple and efficient, which is exactly what you need when you're focused on your craft, not troubleshooting equipment. Who should skip it? If your toolkit includes a lot of heat-sensitive materials, or if you need a sterilizer that can handle larger batches without constant monitoring, this might not be the best fit. It's also not ideal if you're looking for a quiet operation in a noise-sensitive environment. And if you're used to the convenience of pre-vacuum autoclaves that handle wrapped instruments, the dry heat approach here will feel restrictive. At the end of the day, the RH Pro11 delivers on its promises: fast, high-capacity sterilization without chemicals or water. It's not flashy, but it's practical, and that's what matters when you're relying on it to keep your tools safe and your schedule on track. Check it out, and if it fits your workflow, it's a smart investment. Link is in the description.